Good evening. This is Keith Williams. I'm a part of a team. Steve, Laura, Linda, and my friend from Baton Rouge, which I haven't heard in a while
And from a good long minute. Yeah.
a good long minute. But I've been gone. One day I was interrupted because I was doing some other stuff, and last week we didn't have the show, and so I'm elated to be back on here today. But Laura, as usual, Laura's got some wonderful guests. Um, that our opening song means so much to me. Is that I hope one day that Black folks can really realize what that song is telling us and get back to lifting each other up instead of worrying about lifting somebody else up. Because this political climate, this economic climate is not geared for us. And so we got to turn this economic climate to benefit from us. I heard a story, or I heard a figure, Laura, the other day. It would take 233 years for Black folks to close the wealth gap. And so that's very important to me. You can't, we cannot keep trying to live off government contracts, because government contracts can only take you so far. We got to build our own infrastructure. We got to love each other, buy from each other, and hug each other if we're gonna make this happen. So, so I'm trying to do my part with the Wayne County Sheriff, and we got jobs. 18 years old, high school diploma, valid driver's license, GED. We got jobs, and we need your assistance, folks. If we can just put our collective head together, they got jobs everywhere right now, brothers and sisters. If you want to make your life better, you got to do something for yourself. You cannot sit at home and wait for somebody to drop a bundle of money at your door. You're gonna go out there, have to work for it. You got to get yourself prepared for it through the educational process. But more important, you got to get some Jesus in you too, because he is the answer. And he always said, he said, with me, all things are possible. And so we have to look at it from that perspective. Other than that, Laura, I'm gonna turn it over to you. I'm in a mood that I'm tired of seeing us struggle. I'm tired of seeing Black folks struggle.
Yeah, it's time for that, right? It can't be, you got to be uncomfortable with what you see in order to make change. Absolutely.
Yes. You drive down neighborhoods, you see abandonment everywhere. You see
right.
School closed. I told somebody this the other day, Holland Park and Inkster got something that's synonymous with both of each other. Guess what? They don't have a bank or a school system, neither one. How can you run a city without those two entities, a bank and a school system?
And the largest population are African Americans in those cities.
Yes.
You're absolutely right.
Yes.
You're absolutely right. We got to come up with the change. We got to come up with the change.
Then you got other groups out there are benefiting from our consumerism. They gaining political power, such in Dearborn Heights, and Hamtramck. There were once other cultures running those cities. They got it right. They saw us. They said they spend money. They don't hold on to money. We're gonna take that money and build economic and political power. That's shame on us. We need to look ourselves in the face now. But I'm turning it over to you, sister.
This is going to be an interesting conversation, Keith. I like the wealth development conversation you're talking about, but I noticed in our particular race, there seems to be one of the genders is missing from the equation. One of the genders is consistently missing from the equation. And
Black man.
That's right. I was reading something just Good Friday, and it was talking about new business opportunities, home buying opportunities, education opportunities, and workforce development. And Black women are leading the cause in nearly every area when you think about the population that we actually serve and support. So tonight, guys, if you're listening to us here on WCHB 1340, this is the Courageous Hour. This is a live broadcast. The phone number in the studio is 313-837-1340, 313-837-1340. And the impetus for this conversation was, again, me reading this periodical that was addressing all these areas and development areas of growth were being represented, at least in the African-American community, by African-American women. And I thought that was extremely interesting. So for that conversation to be more robust, I thought I'd grab a few people who were actually in spaces and places that are not dominated typically by women, but we're starting to see a huge influx of those women in these areas. So tonight I'd like to introduce you to Miss Tracy Wilkins, and she is a truck driver. And that can mean a whole lot of things to a whole lot of people, but I'm gonna ask Miss Tracy Wilkins to tell us what it is that she does, what type of truck is she driving, and what does that environment look like? Good evening, Miss Tracy, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm wonderful. So you're on the road truck driver, are you?
Yes, I am.
You're in your rig right now. I see you with your headphone and I see some commercial looking stuff around you.
Yes, I just got finished driving for the day.
So that's when you say driving, because I don't know that our audience understands. They may think you're in a UPS, parcel delivery truck, something driving into a neighborhood, or maybe you're making some deliveries to a grocery store. Tell us what type of truck driving you do.
So I am over the road. I can go anywhere in the United States except for Hawaii and Alaska. I drive a tractor trailer, 18-wheeler, and I do this for about 3 weeks at a time. Then I come home for a couple of days and do it all over again.
Tracy, what is that like? What is that like being out there on the road like that?
Well, it depends on who you ask, but since you asked me, it's my passion. I love it. I wouldn't see it any other way.
Do you see a lot of women doing this? I mean, how complicated is it for a woman to get into a big old truck and drive down the road like that?
The women are slowly taking over. We're
Mm.
slowly beginning to, I see women every day now, as opposed to when I first started, it would be rare to see a woman, while I'm out and about. But now it's like I can look over on going down the road on the highway and there's a black chick and I'm like,
oh, what? Really? That is awesome. I love that. That is awesome. So, I mean, is there any money in it though? I mean, what's the money like? Is the money okay?
the money is good. The money is good. So starting off, of course, it may not be where you want it, but it's still good money. But yes, every year, every move I make, when I switch companies, I'm making more money. So I'm satisfied.
Oh
And
my,
there's
that is
so many different fields you can go into with trucking. You can do what I do, which I dry van. You can do
what is that?
refrigeration.
What is dry van? What does that mean, ma'am?
That means that I only haul things that are dry. It doesn't need to be refrigerated. You can carry things that need to be refrigerated. You can do flatbed. We got women coming into flatbed. They're slowly dominating that, where it's like a flat trailer and
Mm-hmm.
something huge goes on and you're strapping it down. We got double triples. You can be pulling double triples like UPS or Holland, FedEx, and you can be doing hazmat tankers. So
It's just so much, huh?
so the opportunity is big. Different opportunities are huge.
So what kind of degree? Do you need a 4-year degree to become a truck driver? How long does it take for you to make that money? Because I was looking at this article and what it said, Ms. Wilkins, was that a lot of people are considering traditional spaces as no longer relevant because they have to carry lots of student debt. They have to defer, having families, because the cost of living, they can't keep up with what they're going to be paying out in expenses with what they'll be earning as entry level. How does that equate in the space that you're operating in? How long does it take you to get up to a spot where you're out of debt? Maybe you had to pay for truck driving school or something.
So, so you don't need a degree to do this. Although I have a degree, I wish I had found this much earlier. I wouldn't.
Wow, you have a degree and you still decided to truck drive?
Yeah, so I wouldn't have went that way. So, how usually when you go to truck driving school, it's about $3,000 to $5,000. However, there are grants. There are different schools that may allow certain people to go for free. So how quick can you pay it off? It's different avenues. You can start with one company and you pay them off monthly. You might give them 1 or 2 years. You pay them off weekly, I should have said. Or you can leave that company and just continue to pay them in installments if you wish to do that.
Wow. So 3,000 to 5,000, you can be out of debt if you can clear that debt, however you make your money.
3,000 to 5,000 in about, let's say, 2.5 years time, you could be bringing home 2,500 a week
2,500 a week, huh?
before tax, before taxes. Yeah.
I don't think that's bad. That don't sound so bad. And you see more and more women jumping into this, huh?
Yeah.
Miss Wilkins, do you see a lot of Black men in this space?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. It's a lot of Black men in it, and yeah, we taking over.
What would you tell a woman who was interested in looking at another opportunity? You know, when you say $2,500 a week, that's not a bad sum of money. That's pretty good. What would you tell them to consider if they were thinking about going to school and layering all that debt? If maybe, you know, they like being over the road. I can imagine that if you have small kids at home, being over the road is probably not an option, right?
So we still have local jobs, but it just depends on the woman, you know, what she wants to do, whether she has small kids, whether she wants to be an owner operator, bring her kids with her sometimes, because women are doing that. We got nurses coming into the truck driving
Oh my
field.
goodness. I can imagine. They're burnt out. They're burnt out. They're sick of all that mess with the hospitals, and I can see that.
I hear about that all the time. A lot of nurses are transitioning into the trucking industry. And I'm like, wow, I thought they made great money.
And they may, but
And
they're sick, they're burnt out.
Yeah. So it's different ways you can go. You can be an owner operator, own your own truck, and you set your own time, schedule, day, night, no weekends, whatever you want to do. It's so many different ways to do it.
That is amazing. So if you're in the listening audience, and I thought this was something interesting, Keith was talking about closing the wealth gap, but it's amazing to me that you can make with, I don't know, how long does it take to become certified to be a truck driver? Is that like a year? Is that 6 weeks? How long does it take before you can take a test and become a truck driver?
If I had to put a number on it, you can do it in less than 6 months.
Wow. And start earning livable money that covers house notes.
Now it's a skill. Driving a truck is a skill. It's a learned skill. The hardest thing about driving a truck is backing it up. Practice makes perfect, as with any skill. But a woman can do it just as good as a man can do it.
I like that. That's awesome. To you in the listening audience, if you were concerned or thought about or considering maybe a different alternative, we've got a very courageous, enterprising woman on the line, Tracy Wilkins. She'll fill some of your calls, 313-837-1340. I've got another guest, and she's doing something that's not all that unique as a way of looking at women in employment, but she works in one of the largest plants I understand that Ford Motor Company has. And I am still baffled by the fact that women work in manufacturing plants. You know, I don't have a real good handle or grasp of what the internal mechanisms look like, what's required. But this is a very beautiful young lady. She looks like a young lady. You wouldn't think that she works in a plant, but that might be my own perception. I want to introduce you this evening to Miss Trista Davis. And she has, I noticed on Facebook, she posted that she's been at Ford Motor Company for at least 10 years. Is that right, Ms. Davis?
Yes, 10 years.
Hello.
Well, it will be May 12th.
May 12th, 10 years. That is awesome. So Trista, talk to me about why you thought going into manufacturing or working for a plant like Ford Motor Company would be a career path for you.
Well, at first it was just a job,
Mm,
you know, something to pay the bills. I had just had a baby, you
mm,
know, and I started off as a temp. My baby was 2 months old,
wow.
and I mean, it was working out. So I stuck with it, and I was just hoping to get hired in. It took 5 years,
Mm,
meaning I've really been doing it for 15 years.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I was a temp for 5 years. And it
So,
took some time, but I finally got in there.
so Trista, will it take 5 years now to actually get in? I thought things were in demand right now. I see hiring everywhere.
No, it don't take that. It don't take that long to get in there now. Like the time that I got hired, it a lot of people, like, we was one of the first groups to get hired for like 10 years.
Oh, wow. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it had been a minute, but now
Mhm.
it's not like that anymore. It's easier to get in now and a little quicker to come up to get
What,
hired in.
what's the makeup of your workplace? I mean, that Ford plant, I understand, is almost like a whole city by itself. What's the representation for women? What percentage of your workforce look like you?
It's about 30-70.
Oh, wow. Okay. Is the
Yeah,
work really hard? Is the work really hard?
no, not where I'm at specifically. I'm at Dearborn Stamping,
Okay.
Local 600, and I'm at a parts plant. It's not final assembly.
Hmm.
So I looked up, you
But
know.
there is some work that's really hard. It's very, very laborious. Very,
Yeah,
very.
it's some worse than others. It
Mm.
is, but like most of the time it works. As the more seniority you got, the
The
better
the
job.
less grunt work you have to do, huh?
Basically, yeah. You can sign bids and get them. And I
Krista,
finally,
no, go ahead, finish your thought.
no, I said I finally found somewhere that I'm comfortable with.
Okay, okay. For those of us laymen who haven't had a chance to actually walk in or work consistently in one of those, self-contained villages, being a stamping plant or parts plant or finish line plant, what's the expectation there? Is it like you're humping like really, really hard? What is it like?
I mean, no, it's not for everybody.
Okay.
But no, it's not easy. Most, like 90% of the jobs, it's not hard.
Really?
It's not. It's like the parts are light. Most of the jobs, the parts are light. We have aluminum parts, and
Okay.
we just make the parts that go to final assembly. And now some jobs you might be on your feet a whole lot longer than others.
Mm-hmm. Not all, I thought all the jobs were on your feet. All of them are not on your feet?
Well, I do different jobs. Like I do the crane, I do the high-low,
What?
I operate.
What?
I
What?
mean,
Wait a
and if
minute.
I'm on my feet, it's not for a long amount of time. We switching up and rotating and
Break it
making it
down,
easy
Krista.
for
You said
all of us.
you get in a high low. You drive a high low inside of a plant.
Yeah, yes.
You ride a crane. Is it what is the crane like inside? What is
Yeah,
it?
yeah, we moving some heavy stuff. It's dangerous.
Dang,
And
y'all hot. Y'all hot. I just can't believe girls are doing stuff like this. It's blowing my mind.
yeah, we could do it just as well as a man.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What's the money like, Trista, if they were at full scale and hired in? Can people have a livable wage working at the plant?
Definitely. Definitely. I mean, the average is about 65,000 full scale, but it's overtime too. If you want it, it's there.
You can go get it, huh?
Yeah.
Keith, what's missing from this equation?
Why do you ask you why you got to eat now?
You answered the question there, Steve. What's missing from this equation?
Well, I don't necessarily think they're missing. I'm glad that you're highlighting and wow, these are some strong black women. I wrote in, I don't know if the young lady driving the truck could see the comments when you were talking. I was like, she definitely, I have friends and colleagues that have their own trucking businesses and things of that nature. She getting money.
She
And
cutting
that's
off the
what a lot
check.
of folks don't realize, that there's opportunity in doing things. Oh, I could just imagine right now, just awesome job, Laura. Again, I'm so glad I joined. You ladies are awesome, and just really make, hopefully inspiring other young ladies.
That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at.
Inspiring
Because
other young ladies.
we don't know the
Think
path.
outside the box. That's
We
right.
don't
Go
know the
all
path.
the way.
Yeah, right. I mean,
It's great to see black women doing it. Black women, super women. That's why I married me one.
smart man, very
Good
smart,
for you.
very smart man. But I'm thinking like I'm a little concerned though, Tracy. Is there an element of safety concern for you? Is that something that rolls through your mind? You know, I know you're from Detroit and everything, but is there something that rolls through your mind like around safety?
Safety is always on my mind. Whenever I'm working, safety is always in the front of my mind, whether it's I drive for myself and for others, right? I have to anticipate what the people around me may do, right? So safety never goes away. It's always in my mind, whether I'm driving, whether I'm picking up a load, whether I'm dropping a load, whether I'm shutting down, like right now.
How do you pick where to
safety.
shut down? Right. What do you have to take into consideration when you think about your dormant time, your downtime? What do you need to think about?
As far as safety?
Yeah.
Well, okay. When I first came into trucking, I was very nervous. Like, I didn't want no one to know a girl is in this truck, right?
Yeah, right.
I wanted to close my curtains very quickly as I can. I dress a certain way because I don't want to draw attention. I was looking at safety like kind of scary, afraid. But now I'm more relaxed because I've been doing it for 4 years and I'm not as worried. However, it's most of the people around me, I mean, the truckers, you may not know it, but it's a brother, it's another guy, it's a sister. They watching out for me
the
too.
community. Oh wow, that's nice. So
That's
it's a
right.
community. Nice.
Yeah, so
nice.
so
Amen.
I'm not afraid anymore. Like I used to pray. I used to put my seatbelt through my door, and you should do that until you're comfortable. Now I don't worry about that. I put my faith and trust in the Lord, and I just feel a lot more comfortable. Although I'm still aware of my surroundings, and I have family members who track me. They know where I am. They know how long I've been sitting. So yeah, it could be scary because you're by yourself. But as you get used to it, you realize that it's not as rough as one may think.
To our listening audience, before we get to our break, I'm talking to Ms. Wilkins, and though we're on the radio, you guys know that we're looking at this virtually. I can see her, and she's dialed up. She's got really long fingernails longer than mine, and I type on the computer, and she's in an 18-wheeler rolling across the country. So it must not be that complicated. Did I get that right?
I would say when I came in, I was not thinking about no nails. I was worried about learning this craft, right?
That's right.
Now that I got it down pat, and I can even show out a little bit, and I'm my own cheerleader all the time. Yeah, I can get my nails done. Yes, I waste money because I pop a few, come off, but yeah, we always got to put the pizzazz in there. We got to put the sassiness in there because we're still women.
Excellent. Miss Davis, what about you? Let me see your fingernails. They better not be nubby.
You know, they might need to be filled in, but I got on nails.
I got nails, y'all. I can make 65 plus and look good in the plant. And this one over here is like I could be on the road rolling across the U.S.
Oh yeah, my hands still soft. I don't play that. I don't work hard.
So are mine, and
just
I
going
drive
to
a truck
say-
every day.
What you say, Linda? What did you say, Linda?
And I was gonna say, back in the day, when women first started working in the plant, I knew women who worked in the plant kept their hair wrapped and their nails
Mhm.
so that there was no problem. So when Friday came and
They
it was
can-
time to go out,
they can look all right.
unwrapped and
They
they
can
were
look all
ready.
right.
So you did not know what they did.
These women are able to hold it down
Yeah.
and really be the heads.
I
of
was
their
like, there's nothing new. I'm glad to see more younger women into it.
Yes, you see what I mean?
Right.
Like this woman is caravanning all across the US all by herself, and she's like, I feel good. You know, if you were concerned, you could tell she wouldn't have, you know, claws like she has, because you want to be able to ball your fist up and defend. But she's looking real relaxed right now. And I'm thinking she's seeing the whole world. She's checking out things. She's got some independence in the space that she operates in. And a lot of it has to do with the fact of the matter that we know that trucking, and has been a long minute, the baby boomer generation has transitioned, and then that next generation is getting to a point where they're falling out. That transportation spot has been hard to fill for the last 15, 20 years. So it's in high demand. But I look at the plants, and I remember when I was coming out of school, not a lot of people in my generation were running to the plant because you had to know somebody to get in there. Plus, if you got in, you had to work that 90 days and maybe you got the job, and then it was no guarantee. And then I knew people who had been laid off for 3 and 4 and 5 years, but that doesn't seem to be the space anymore. So
But
it's in high demand.
most of the time, it's still like that.
Okay.
You know somebody.
To get in. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All
Most
right.
of the time.
Okay. Excellent. So we're down to our last 2 minutes before the top of the hour. I wanted to try something a little bit different just because I saw that article that periodical that was talking about women dominating in male, spaces, and transportation or trucking is one. And then when we think about manufacturing and plant operations, we typically think, that as a male dominated space, although Trista indicated that it's only like 30-70 split, it's still a strong representation. And I don't see it going away. I know right now there are over 1,400 job openings in manufacturing. Some of them are tier 1 and tier 2 suppliers, as well as your major manufacturers. And the reality is they're going to have to definitely entertain women walking into those spaces. And so ladies, people, young folk, high schoolers, thinking about what your next step may look like. Have you ever thought about seeing the whole United States on somebody else's dime, rolling around, collecting a check, bumping the dock, going, yeah, take it off, lock it down, let me roll? Or being where Trista is, it's probably a very fast-paced environment. But as she said, it's a lot of automation and it's aluminum. It's not overly heavy. It's probably a lot of repetitive movements, but you're in the middle of a community. And if you get in, your pension, Trista, don't the plant still offer pensions and vacations and all the rest of those nice benefits?
No, the pensions are long gone.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. All the benefits. I mean, they have where they match you. You put in a certain
Like a 401k. All right.
Yeah, they have something where they match you, but no, that pension is gone.
Hold on 1 second. We're going to do a real quick station ID and we'll be right back.
WCHB, Royal Oak, Detroit. Streaming online at WCHB1340.com. The voice of the church.
Well, I want to say thank you to our guests for popping in. It's probably mealtime for Miss Wilkins. And I don't know, Ms. Davis, when you have to go back and don the plant. But I want to say thank you guys for jumping on this call. And to our listening audience, I happen to know each of these people since birth, both of them. I know them both intimately well, extremely well. And I'm excited, so extremely impressed and excited the fact that they took the bull by their horns. There are not a whole lot of women who are courageous enough to jump in a 18-wheeler and roll around the country by themselves. And I know many women who applied at Ford and GM and Chrysler back when, and couldn't make it past 90 days. That work was tedious, hard, and complicated. They didn't like the environment. It was just too masculine, and things have changed. Tracing indicated that there are people who were former nurses who are now deciding that this is the new way of doing business. I can make money and see see our country all on somebody else's dime. Well, I want to say thank you, ladies, for joining our call. I will send you a recording. Thank you so
Okay.
much. Both you,
Okay.
Tracy, and you, Trista. Good night, guys.
Okay, bye, peace, love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Miss Linda and Steve Elam, what's going on, y'all?
Oh, a lot yet not enough.
I hear you. I hear you. Interesting.
This is there's a lot of information going on out there. There are a lot of we'll say somewhat development. This is a good time for entrepreneurs to see if people are putting their money where their mouth is.
Almost.
Yeah.
definitely.
In terms of resources and programs, and a lot of times you just want to listen just to see what they're saying and can you match it.
Mm-hmm.
Is it live or is it Memorex? And this is a good time to do it.
Is it
This is a
live or
time
is it
to-
memory? Now, Linda, you know you dated yourself with that one. What you say, girl?
That's okay. I have no shame in my game, and that's another old one.
Uh-huh. Yes, it is.
But sometimes that's the best way to speak about it.
Mhm,
It's a good time to invest some of your hours, people, on your business and not in your business.
mhm.
Okay, let's look at what's out there. Let's get out and let's meet some new people.
Mhm,
Yeah.
Get out of your office.
mhm, mhm. Linda, you just stabbed me.
Go out and patronize. Patronize a new business. You might learn something as well as putting some money in someone else's pocket, and that's okay. It'll get returned back to you.
Right.
We want to keep these businesses going.
Yes, collective responsibility is what
Right.
we almost practice. Emoji. So I think a lot of times we get caught up. Oh, anyway, I'm not gonna talk negative. I'm not Brother Williams. Excellent show, Laura. Once
Man,
again,
she riding around. She riding around the country. She was like, yeah, I'm
she
getting
getting paid. She
Steve.
getting paid.
Steve, 3,000 to 5,000, and then you clear, and you
getting paid.
you grossing 2,500. You're not paying no rent, no lights, no gas, no nothing. You rolling blowing somebody else's gas.
She getting paid. That's awesome. Let me tell you what I have going on though. Okay, so we got the Reading Boost Club over at Hartford Memorial Baptist Church.
Oh, that's nice.
Tuesdays and Thursdays. We started just this past Tuesday. The next session is Thursday. We do it Tuesday and Thursdays from 6 to 7:30. We are looking for in the listening audience. You got some youngsters, grandkids. Somebody needs some support with boosting their reading and their comprehension. Bring them to the church so we can work with them. The next thing I got is, Laura, you know about this one. This is Buffs, the ACE program. So the ACE program is going to be aviation career education. Let me tell you what they're looking for. 9th graders through 12th graders. This is for the summer program. They got virtual options and they got in-person options. But what I'll do is I'm going to post this on Courageous page. If you're interested, it's all free from 8 to 4 p.m. And they get an opportunity to fly a plane, things of that nature.
It's aviation, y'all. You may not have heard it when you said it, but it's flying a plane.
Registration deadline is May 9th. And you can go to buffmichigan.org/ACE, which is Aviation Career Education Program. Those kids go, oh my goodness. Just the industry alone with drones, with all the different things that are coming to fruition, people can tap into it. And I bet Black women are gonna dominate that too.
I got 2 nieces. I think I'm gonna tell them about it.
Yeah.
For real, for
So
real.
And then there's Davis Aerospace, the school.
Yeah. So here I'm with a flyer. I can share my screen. So
Yeah,
just-
do it, because I'm recording it, and then when I make it live.
Yeah, we'll share the screen. So there we go. I'm gonna make it. There we go. So this is, like I said, they got a virtual option from June 27th through the 30th. And you can register for all the components. Like, one of the kids wanted to start off virtual, they like it, and then they got time to go in person. July 11th through the 15th, and then also August 15th through the 19th. Got field trips set up. They're getting a simulator. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe they're going to have opportunity to actually do the helicopter ride throughout the city of Detroit.
Wow, I've got two teenagers who fit this right now, and I think I'm gonna make sure I share that. Guys, the registration deadline is May 9th. Can they just go to
They can go right there. Yep.
buffmi.org?
Yep. They can go right there and register. And I'm gonna continue to put this out to the high schoolers, because one of the things I recognize, they get prepared for summer. Some kids, a lot of kids going to summer school. I know that already. This is the 3rd grade reading law. So that's why we're pushing the Reading Boost Club. Because parents, you're going to be able to petition your school for a waiver if your child doesn't pass the M-STEP if they're in the 3rd grade, because they can be held back this year. And
this does my heart good, Steve, to see this. This is good stuff.
And what I'll do is, oh no, I don't have that flyer yet. So for next week, I'll keep pubbing both of those. The one thing I recognize, I want to help parents even navigate the system if they get a letter saying their child must be retained. So it's 2 things as we'll be able to do. And I'll maybe hold a workshop or a virtual workshop to help out even schools, help their parents understand what are ways that they would be able to apply for a waiver. So
that's excellent.
I look forward to doing that, because we got to be courageous. All we got is collective responsibility, like Linda is saying. We got to support one another. We ain't no escaping this. Keith been talking about it for years. So Keith, you need to tell us about Soul Day, man. We need to start talking about this right now. I saw
right now
the last 5 shows. Lord, got your lineup for potential sponsors, for people that we can recognize as soul brother and soul sister. But I see it being a big deal as we come out of COVID.
Absolutely.
Really learning how to navigate through COVID, because I don't think we're going to come out of it. But navigate through it and highlight the people in the community, because that is what Linda said. We got to practice this right now.
So, Mr. Keith Williams, you want to talk to us about Soul Day? We'd love to hear more about Soul Day right now before I talk about our sponsors.
Soul Day is happening. Good evening, everyone. Okay, hold on.
I'll hit our sponsors real quick while you get set.
Okay.
I want to say thank you to our sponsors. We get to do this work that we're doing because somebody believes in the work that Courageous is doing. And so the Courageous Hour has been going strong for multiple consecutive years. Thank you to our listening audience for your continued following. But this would never happen without Wayne State University providing us an Olympic style environment and feel where we can actually work with our youth. We want to say thank you to Continental Foods for giving both financial and services support. We want to say thank you to the St. Joseph Mercy Hospital for that continuation and partnership and what that looks like. There have just been so many organizations and agencies. Some of them are periodic or infrequent, but some of them are just always there for us. We want to say thank you, St. Ralph Wilson Foundation. Thank you to DTE Foundation. I don't know if it's Chemical Bank. It's not Chemical Bank. What is it now? TCF Bank.
Chemical Bank.
It's TCF, isn't it?
No, it's Chemical Bank.
Chemical Bank. Chemical Bank, thank you. And if I missed anybody, it's because I'm getting old and I apologize. But thank you for your continued patronage. We want you and your continued sponsorship. We want you, if you're in the audience, if you want to find out about our youth lineup and programs, you got to hit the Courageous website or the Courageous Facebook page to keep up to speed with everything that the program is actually offering. Keith, tell us about Soul Day and anything else we need to know about spring lettings.
Okay, Soul Day is July 31st at Northwestern High School. We're putting together the program, so I need volunteers. We need a communications person. We need a person to put the book together. We need somebody that get the contracts. So it's gonna be alumni picnic the same day on that footage on that behind the school. It's gonna be a lovely day. It's gonna be a continuation of what we started in 2019. and it's gonna be well put together, and I look forward to it. It's July 3rd, it's July 3rd, July 29th and 30th. That night on the 29th, I want to get some speakers to come talk about the future of Black folks, that kind of conversation. The next day, we're gonna do our thing. Music all day, love and fun. So, can't hear you.
When do tickets go on sale?
It's free event,
What? Say it
free event. But you have to pay for the tables. You want to, if you want
again.
to,
The vendors have to
Vendors.
pay.
if the vendors want to sell the stuff, they're gonna have to pay.
Yeah.
The food, we're gonna sell the food, then we're gonna split the money with the Northwestern alumni.
That is fantastic.
Okay,
Banging.
so
So
if you want to get involved, call 313-215-4121. We got to get a Facebook page. We got to do all that. So I need help with that. Other than that, now we're gonna segue into Courageous Games. It's July 17th, Saturday. It's July 16th, 17th at Wayne State. We got all the teams, we got all the coaches, we got the food and all that stuff. It's gonna be a blast. Kids coming from all over. And so then today I met with Chemical Bank. They are engaged in what we're doing. And then the big thing is this. Steve, now we finally got something we can work with. We're gonna put together with HUD, all the buildings. We're gonna have a sports program, educational program for those kids and through the HUD complexes throughout the city of Detroit. We're having a meeting on May 28th.
okay.
So we're getting ready to put that meeting together, and I would love to have you at that meeting to talk about the future of our children in public housing. And the bottom line is this: I'm tired of the kids going back. I call it going back recidivism, like you going to jail. But I want them kids, when they leave housing, don't come back. They can go and pursue their opportunities from an aspect of economic, for whatever genre, whatever field they want to go into. There's going to be there. That's what I'm trying to do. Get them moving in the direction where they can be successful, live a strong and prosperous life, and then do the right thing by their community. That's what I'm trying to do. Other than that, we're moving forward. We're starting to get some money now, and I'm as of July next Friday, I'm done working full time. So I'm gonna be ready. I'm picking up little contracts here and there, but I'm going to enjoy this journey, this last journey. When track and field, we have what they call a 4x1. I'm on the last leg of the 4x1.
All right, bring it home.
Yes,
I'm bringing
indeed.
it home.
Yes, indeed.
Other than that, I love you guys. We got to get this moving. I want to start meeting once a week on Soul Day. Courageous, we got that. We just need help with Soul Day. I got the same engineers and the folks that do our stuff. That's already taken care of. I'm buying generators so we don't have to go rent generators. So I'm doing everything in our power to make it work for Courageous.
There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. I'm excited, man. Hey, just staying steadfast and following God. See, I just talked to another young lady about her child joining Reading Boost. It goes back. Today's Miles Monroe's birthday. So when you in the kingdom, he gonna provide for you every time. He take care of his people. And Lord, every time like clockwork, I can say you are very consistent. Every Wednesday that I have joined, it has been a blessing to know that we are still out here making it happen. It is awesome. Keep bringing all the good news. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited.
Steve, we got Wayne State. They gave us a bonus when we got Wayne State. Everybody ain't got a relationship with Wayne State like we have.
Woo-wee. That's what
People don't
a
have the
favor.
access. Oh, come on. Yeah.
We got
favor. Laura, you're right. That's what it is.
We got athletics and intellectual capital all at our beckoning call. So
there you go.
So I'm gonna get back on this other call. Y'all can close out, and then next week, y'all just close out. One thing that we have to change It's how we look at each other and how we perceive our culture. Because
Mhm,
our culture is a great culture.
mhm.
If they can go over, if they can go over to Ukraine and send trillions of dollars, then why can't they come and put that same effort in the African American community so we can live the American dream like everybody else? Okay, so
Options.
I'm just saying that I'm tired of Black folks fighting each other. I'm tired of us looking down on each other, and I'm tired of us that think we got a little education, we're better than everybody else. The bottom line is we're in God's kingdom. In God's kingdom, what he says, what are we required to do? Act justly, love mercifully, and walk humbly with our God. If we could do those things, we can make it better for all of us.
Oh, amen. And watch what Courageous gonna do.
I'm
We're gonna continue.
I'll be right back.
I'm excited about having an opportunity to see next steps. And now that Keith is going to have more energy because he's not going to be so devoted to some other tasks. Although here's something else that I need you guys to know. And because I spent a whole lot of days in the C-suite and in corporate America, Keith is in that straddled space, in that corporate but bureaucracy spot too. Here's what happens when they transition, Steve. They leave a hole. They leave a hole for representatives. They
Yeah.
leave a hole for who can advocate for a certain segment of people. You understand what I mean? Because you need that bull in the china shop to show up and represent and make certain that you can get that thing over the hump. Not everybody's gonna walk into a situation that he's leaving, Steve,
Oh no.
and advocate for somebody else because they're too worried about their paycheck. They're,
And
you
that
know,
it's what Linda said, collective responsibility. If we just gotta get over, just practice it, even like we keep saying, practicing it more. And I'm
That's
glad
right.
that you are being the right kind of role model by turning people on. See, that's the other thing. So you're modeling exactly what we're doing. And the
Yeah.
fact that we've been consistent with it, coming on the radio, helping to spread the word, because this is a medium, and we know the listening audience, we know you listening. So definitely, you need to be tapping in. We're looking forward to having you participate more at all opportunities. Because if we don't participate, then nothing's going to change, and you can't be that satisfied with what's going on.
Exactly.
I'm talking to the listening audience. You can't be that satisfied.
That's right.
What's going on.
That's exactly right. I saw something, I saw the revelation of something today, but I didn't understand it when it happened 6 weeks ago. And it was revealed, Steve, it was revealed just this afternoon to me. And I applied for some contract work where if I were competing against my traditional peers, I would not have had any second thought about where my placement would be. My placement would be on that bid award. But I just found out that another entity that doesn't look like us, but they are a minority and they're prominent in a certain city, they were awarded work to do all of the technical assistance and small business work throughout Western Wayne County. And they didn't even have a presence in Western Wayne County outside of Detroit and Dearborn. So all of a sudden somebody's going to make room provision for them to have an office in Western Wayne County so they can get the work. It's a setup.
Yeah.
Because you need that inside connect to make that setup.
To make it connect.
To make it do what it does.
Yeah.
And when we lose gems like a Keith Williams, what happens for the advocacy? Who's then going to bat for us?
Oh, nobody. Nobody is awfully quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Like when Martin Luther King wrote the letter to Birmingham, people don't recognize he was talking to the other pastors.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let them know. Hey,
your silence is loud, buddy. That's right.
But yeah, definitely just like that. That is awesome. We're gonna be able to close some gaps and just keep inspiring.
So now I see we've got to find our champions. We have to identify them right away. As everybody, no matter who you are, I feel this in my spirit. No matter who you are a placeholder for a reason. It's not for your paycheck. It is not just so that you can push your own personal agenda, but you have to think about the nomadic tribe of the Israelites and what they were called and commissioned to do. We in Christ, we in our own African-American tribe or community, need to realize that it ain't about us always. It's about all the people behind us too. You got to position yourself to advocate, to set them up. I ain't asking you to bring people who aren't worthy or ready. That's not what we're suggesting. Not worthy, this is not the conversation. Not worthy, no, not that. We're talking about the fact that there are not enough people who actually present well. Steve, real quick, I was watching something on, was it CNBC? Maybe Bloomberg. And it was a real quick short about a very large organization, retail organization, and they were defining what beauty was. Who does that? Steve, Linda, who has the final say so on what beauty looks like? Isn't that the most subjective thing in the whole wide world?
I do.
And they decided that if you had, a blemish on your face, or if your body didn't fit a certain, size, then you don't qualify for beauty. And it was a Black woman who was disclosing all of this stuff. And I really want to say, we got to get away from all that. We got to get to the point, like he said, we got to love on one another and stop trying to live through somebody else's lens. That doesn't work. It doesn't work because it does not help us with self-confidence. Next week, guys, this is building up to what I'm talking about for next week. I am bringing a clinical therapist on, a live clinical therapist who is currently serving families and supporting youth and even older people who are all having depression and suicidal intentions because of how the society is shaping conversations. That troubles me so in my spirit. We got to get ready to talk about what we should be able to address and what lens we have to look at people through.
Yeah.
But we'll have a clinical therapist on next week, and she's going to break it down to us, how to look for these things in our own family that we may not be privy to, in our super busy lives that we're not paying any attention to. I look at my nieces and nephews, I don't know who's bullying them. I don't know if somebody's calling them out of their name or making them feel some kind of way. We need to understand the cues. We need to understand what to look for, and we need to understand how to reinforce. And I can only imagine, Steve, that as a former high school principal, you probably had to have this in your toolkit. But a lot of us are walking around.
It's the social emotional awareness, emotional intelligence. It has so many different words, but it's just what you're saying. And that right now, at this impasse, as people think we're coming out of COVID, we're still in it, but the process of the pressure is on younger people, because that's what their lifestyle consists of.
That's right, being seen.
Being seen. They don't know how not to be seen.
Exactly. So
That
I'm
is
Everywhere, all the time.
everywhere, all the time. They can't turn it off, but don't realize that's how we were all able to be successful.
All the time.
They distracted about the wrong thing. But
That's right.
We talking about it, because if you don't talk about it, and we mentioned this, I'm doing a program this Saturday. It's Brother to Brother. We coming out of St. Louis, Detroit, Chicago, California, and we're talking about the exact same thing.
Wow.
With Black men not having that space to talk about it. So here again is we have to talk about the murder, and I'm gonna say murder in Grand Rapids.
Jesus.
Now, you chose to execute somebody, and the person, it was a passenger in the car, and you got the car. If the person run off, let them run off. You chose to,
Because you still got the car.
You got everything.
You got everything you need.
Including where he lives.
Including where he lived, the person in the car, everything. But you chose to take his life. You could have shot him in the leg. You could have shot him in the shoulder.
Well, that wasn't a shooting. That was an
wanted-
execution.
Yeah.
That was an execution.
Yeah, that's what it was.
It was cowardice is what it was. It was cowardice, and you didn't like being or feeling like you weren't in control because somebody has to dominate somebody else. It is who they are.
Yeah, it's stressful times out here for Black men. Then you got the one Black guy in New York. He get on the train and try to take people out. So people don't know how to even perceive Black men. And it's every day when you go outside your door. Black men, Keith know it, and other Black women, you guys understand it too. At any given moment, somebody can choose to take our lives.
Yep, you're an endangered species. I've been saying it, Steve, for a very long time. The black
they
man
make that
is an
work.
endangered species.
And those are things that is real pressure. How you react.
That's why I can't wait to have Miss Tamika Reeves, the clinician, on next week, because she speaks real. You know, she's got a lot of experience. Not that I need her to talk to us about her clients, but I need to see this thing through her lens. You know, a lot of us.
Yeah, because
'Cause
parents
I
are
need
going
some
through it along with
reprogramming.
kids.
I need reprogramming because I look at people and I want to judge, but I don't know what they've just come through or what they're dealing with. You know what I mean?
We all are going, oh yeah. And then it becomes transferable. So now
That's
it's
right.
on video, things are on video that continue to pop up, replay. Some things are not meant to be seen. And once I
Mhm,
think about
mhm.
young people, they're seeing individuals murdered. Like it's not the movie where it's an actor or actress. They physically seeing it, and this is final.
Yep.
I
Execution
never
style.
thought about growing up in that kind of world.
Right. We saw it on New Jack City, which was on TV. But
Right. It was a movie.
guys, we're down to our last 2 minutes. And full disclosure, those two ladies earlier were both of my siblings, the sister directly under me and my baby sister. And
Oh yeah, you done seen them grind. Oh, that is awesome. That is
Steve,
awesome.
Steve, right? You know, and trying to be the eldest. I grew up in a family structure where you live by example. That's what Daddy said. You know, what you get
Yeah.
away with is what they think they're gonna get away with. And how you do things, we're gonna set the foundation that everybody will follow the process. And I'm looking
All the
at
process.
two
That's
very enterprising women doing something altogether different. And the fact that a woman can work in a manufacturing plant at a very fast pace and feel good about it makes me feel good. And my sister over the road too, like what?
She got to still. Hey, so look. So one of the things we haven't put together, and I thought about it as we use Dorma, we need a series of black women and a series of black men to just tell they 2 to 3 minutes, like how maybe connect them with Dora and help Dora write their story, and then they
That's
practice.
right. That's what
Those
I'm
are
talking
the
about.
things.
Hold
that
on,
need to
Steve.
be
I gotta close out WCHB. So this is the end of our segment. I want to say thank you everybody for joining the call, and we'll let the WCHB and then we'll wrap our end up. But thank you all. See you all next week. Have a clinical therapist next week.
Put your faith into action.
All right. Go ahead, Steve. You were saying
Oh,
something.
no, I was gonna say, because I thought about as I plug people in for Dorma, if we can like provide a full series, the Black Women series, the Black Men series, and have a whole like, okay, we got 7 people, we need to put them on your calendar, and they need to come through, and these are kind of the things you need, you know, here go their bios, and then the kids can be prepared to ask questions when they come through.
Because there are so many stories out there, you know.
Yeah.
Worthy of telling. Absolutely.
You know, I still maintain that there are not enough people that know about the master plumber, who's a Black female.
Yeah, they just showed today on the news. It's a four woman plumbing team.
Well, this woman, I'm thinking of, her name is, oh Lord, what's her last
I
name?
know. I remember the article when
Ford
Beverly did an article on it. I know you're talking
about. Her first name is Adrian.
Mm-hmm.
The name of her business is Benkari, but she was the first Black female master plumber in Michigan. Okay, and she doesn't have daughters. She's got sons in the business, and every time I see her, she's definitely gorgeous.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean, there are the, you know, because kids, and Lord knows I'm working with 7th and 8th graders, and if they're supposed to be my future, I'm scared.
Better be. They all better be.
Steve, I'm making you the host because I got to get out. I
got to go too. I'm working on the paper.
There's more of a disconnect.
Okay. Well, Linda, we're gonna have to follow up next week. I got to get my gym in. I got to go.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Enjoy.
Okay.
Bye now.